Hi, I wanted to talk a little bit about non-dairy milks today. They are everywhere. 10 years ago, you used to have like one brand to choose from, and now they are refrigerated and shelf-stable and plain and chocolate and everything. There's so many different kinds, and all the coffee bars, coffee carts have all the different options too, so they're kind of just part of normal life now. But there's some differences between them, so I just wanted to talk about some of those. And I should also address that I'm filming this video around Christmas time, and the prettiest thing in my house right now to use for a backdrop is my Christmas tree, so maybe it'll help you feel festive whenever you decide to watch this. Non-dairy milks are fantastically healthy. They are naturally cholesterol-free because they don't come from animal foods, and the fat, carb, and protein kind of vary depending on what they're using instead, like nuts or seeds or whatever. But they're not a one-to-one nutritional replacement for dairy milk. For the most part, there's some that come pretty close, but they are so different compared to each other that you can't assume that it has the same protein and calcium as dairy milk, which is kind of, I think, why most people, those are the two main nutrients we worry about getting, and that's why we drink cow's milk. So if you're going to swap out cow's milk for non-dairy milk, you just want to start reading the label so you know what you're getting. And this is just a handful of different kinds I could get at my grocery store. It's so not representative of all the different non-dairy milks that are available. But protein probably is the first nutrient to think about. And I know protein is so trendy right now, and people are so excited about using protein powders and eating high protein everything, and we're adding protein to foods like Cheerios and water that don't need protein added to them. But the science says that most of us get enough protein without really trying, but I know it's very exciting right now. People are worried about protein. So look at the nutrition facts label before you buy a non-dairy milk and just see what you're getting. So I have these in order from lowest to highest protein content. The almond milk has 1 gram. The cashew milk has 1 gram. The oat milk has 3 grams. The soy has 8, and the pea has 8. So that's grams of protein per cup. And the serving size on the nutrition facts label for all of these is the same, so that you can pick up 2 and compare. It's 1 cup for each. And that's the serving size for dairy milk too. So if we were comparing to dairy milk has 8 grams of protein per cup. So what that means is these are the only 2 that provide the same amount of protein as dairy milk. Like I said, most of us get enough protein without trying very hard, so I don't think for most of us that it's nutritionally concerning to take dairy milk out and put almond milk in, even though it doesn't have the same amount of protein, because you're getting protein in other places for the most part. But I think it's important to know what you're drinking, and if you were hoping for a nutritional equivalent to dairy milk, then you definitely want to read the labels and see which ones are giving you a good dose of protein. Calcium varies also. If you look on here, it gives you the percent daily value. So this one has 2% of the daily value, which means a cup of this gets you 2% towards the 100% of calcium you need for the day. This one's quite a bit different. This one has 30% of the daily value for calcium in 1 cup. The oat milk has 25% of the daily value, so a quarter of what you need. The soy has 4%, and the pea has 35%. So again, a wide variety, and it just depends on what other foods and beverages you're consuming that have calcium in them, whether or not you need to make sure that yours has it. A couple things about calcium. The non-dairy milks that have calcium in them here have had calcium added, because there isn't a lot of naturally occurring calcium in, like the almonds or the cashews that they're using to make the milk, or doesn't end up in the milk. And so for some reason, some people think that's a negative thing, that, well, the non-dairy milks have to fortify themselves to get enough calcium. But regular dairy milk is fortified with vitamins A and D. So you can see it right on the front of the label. A lot of dairy milk say vitamin A and D fortified milk. So even the regular milk you're used to from growing up is also fortified with vitamins and or minerals. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to drink something that's fortified. Also, I've heard people on social media, people were talking about, this is the soy milk from Costco, and it used to have calcium added to it, so the calcium percentage was much higher. And I saw a few people commenting that they like to eat clean, and that to eat clean you need to eat foods that have a short ingredient list and therefore are not fortified with vitamins or minerals. And I certainly agree that a short ingredient list is typically a good idea, but I don't consider a food fortified with vitamins and minerals to be not clean eating. I think it's perfectly healthful eating. So I generally try and get non-dairy milks from my house that are fortified with calcium, and I don't consider that a negative thing. The other thing about calcium in these, when they add the calcium, because of chemistry, a lot of the calcium sinks to the bottom of the carton. And so a lot of them say, like in tiny writing right here, it says shake well. So the manufacturers are letting you know that each time you use it, each time you take it out of the fridge, you should shake it to get that calcium distributed so that it's more evenly distributed in each cup that you have, and you're not leaving it all till the very last cup that you drain out of the carton. I think also we should talk about soy a little bit. I read a lot of research about soy, and it's incredibly positive. And not only is it not harmful, it's actually helpful for many people's health. It's considered a nutritious food and a safe food. I know the internet tells people that it's not safe or that it's worrisome, and I can tell you as a dietitian who reads the research on soy about its safety, I feel comfortable enough with its safety that I use it in my house. We use soy milk, tofu, tempeh, soy meat substitutes, soybeans like edamame and canned soybeans. So based on what I've learned about soy, I'm not worried about its safety. That certainly doesn't mean that you have to drink soy. If for whatever reason you don't want to drink soy or you're worried about it from something you've heard, you don't have to drink soy. But I just want you to know from a nutrition standpoint and a scientific standpoint that it's safe to consume. And if you remember, it's one of the only two that are nutritionally equivalent in protein to cow's milk. So it's often used kind of as the gold standard of if you're not going to drink cow's milk, you should probably drink soy milk if you want equal nutrition. And then my last tip is maybe if you're going to use non-dairy milk, to rotate the types that you use. One of the basic tenets of nutrition science is variety, that we get the best nutrition when we choose a variety of foods. And so instead of just drinking exclusively almond milk all year, maybe buy a couple cartons of almond milk, and next time switch to cashew, and next time try oat milk, and next time try soy, and next time try pea, and then try hemp, and then try any of the other ones that they're coming out with. Then you would get kind of the benefits of all of them. And if we could actually call it a risk, which I don't think it is, but maybe the nutritional shortcomings of some, like not enough protein here, you'd kind of even all that out if you rotated your choices from the non-dairy selections. So my main message is non-dairy milks are healthful. They're not all equal to each other. You should read the label to see what you're getting. There's nothing wrong with adding vitamins and minerals to a product. I don't think that makes it bad. Shake it before you drink it, and rotate your choices.